CBS The Young and the Restless spoilers next week, May 18th to 29th, 2026. Welcome back to the channel, Y&R fam. Today is a beautiful day to dissect the absolute madness unfolding on our screens. So grab your coffee and let's get right into the drama that has us all collectively holding our breath. I cannot even process what I just watched. I am sitting here typing furiously late into the night because my brain is literally short-circuiting over Holden Novak and Claire Newman. Are we actually finally getting the payoff we deserve? Because after that May 15th episode, I am screaming at my television screen. The tension, the chemistry. I know some people are loving this slow burn and think it's romantic, but personally, I am losing my mind with anxiety. They just dropped off the stem cells for Malcolm. The medical mission is officially accomplished. The door to that New York hotel room is shut tight. And bam, that kiss. That kiss is just hanging in the air like a giant neon sign. And neither of them knows what to do next. And I am entirely here for it. But I am also completely terrified that the writers are going to ruin it at the last second. Let's just break down that hotel room scene for a minute because the acting was absolutely off the charts. You have Holden, who has been carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, dealing with the rejection of Devin and Nate, and Claire, who has been through absolute hell and back with her own twisted family dynamics. They are alone in New York. The lighting was moody, the vibe was incredibly heavy, and they just successfully transported Kane's bone marrow to save Malcolm's life. By the way, can we talk about Kane Ashby for a second? I mean, Kane swooping in as the miracle match for Malcolm is peak soap opera manipulation. We all know from the spoilers that Kane is using this exact situation with the stem cells to blackmail Lily for control of Chancellor Winters. Like, how sick is that? Lily is already dealing with so much, devastated that her twins weren't a match. And now her ex-husband is holding her uncle's life hostage for corporate power. It makes my blood boil. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, back to the point. Back to Holden and Claire in that room. The relief of saving Malcolm is washing over them, and that adrenaline just translated straight into pure, unadulterated chemistry. But it wasn't just the kiss that had me screaming at the screen. It was what Claire said right before it happened. When she looked at Holden and told him that she misses her late father, Cole Howard. Oh my God, the tears were real. We all know how much Cole meant to her, and for Claire to be that vulnerable, to open up that deeply guarded part of her heart to Holden, that is huge. She confessed that she sees Holden differently now. She actually looked him in the eye and said she trusts him. Do you know how massive that is for a Newman? For Claire, who has every single reason in the world to trust absolutely no one in Genoa City. She wants to move forward cautiously, but she wants to move forward. And considering where these two were just a few months ago, this pivot is giving me whiplash in the best possible way. Because let's rewind to February. Remember that mess? I am sorry, but Holden was acting like a total amateur back then. They broke up because Holden gave Claire this ridiculously watered-down, half-baked version of his past in Los Angeles. He basically fed her this sanitized story about Audra Charles or Audra Cortez, as she was known back then stealing a $500,000 check from some big-shot art world figure. And then he casually mentions, oh yeah, things got messy and she paid me $100,000 in hush money. Like, what? You don't just drop a $100,000 hush money bomb and expect a smart, perceptive woman like Claire to just nod and smile. Claire knew there were massive holes in that story. She kept pushing, he kept deflecting, and she rightfully dumped him. Good for her. I was cheering for Claire back in February because she refused to settle for half-truths. But we all know he left out the worst part. The absolute darkest, most twisted part of that Los Angeles scandal is still locked away in Holden's head, and it has been driving me completely insane since November. I've been watching this show for years, and I know exactly how they pace these secrets. They dangle the carrot, they pull it away, they make us wait 6 agonizing months. Remember when they tried this exact same secret-keeping formula with Nick and Phyllis years ago? Yeah, it didn't work then either. The truth always comes out. And now, Soap Hub is calling this New York trip a hanging promise that Holden is finally going to spill the actual tea. The official spoilers for the May 22nd episode are promising an unexpected turn on this trip. And if that turn isn't Holden sitting on that hotel bed, looking Claire in the eyes, and vomiting up the entire ugly truth about Los Angeles, I am going to riot in the streets. The stage is perfectly set for a confession. His mom, Stephanie Simmons, basically gave Claire her blessing right to her face. That was such a sweet moment, by the way, seeing Stephanie embrace Claire. With Stephanie's approval and Malcolm finally on the mend thanks to Kane's manipulative stem cell donation, the crushing guilt Holden has been carrying is finally gone. He is emotionally stripped down. He is ready to talk. And let's talk about the collateral damage here. Because if Holden tells the truth, Audra Charles is finished. I know some people are loving Audra right now, especially with how she's been supporting Sally Spectra through her horrific miscarriage and car crash trauma. Audra has been playing the loyal, empathetic friend, bonding with Sally over their shared losses. And honestly, she's been doing a great job rebranding herself as a human being with a soul. But personally, I haven't forgotten who Audra really is. She is a ruthless corporate climber who reinvents herself whenever it suits her narrative. If Holden drops the bomb about what really happened in LA with that $500,000 check, Audra's entire Genoa City reinvention is going to collapse like a house of cards. Can you imagine the fallout? If Claire finds out the full extent of Audra's crimes, you know she isn't going to just keep it to herself. Claire has that Newman ruthlessness buried deep inside her. And if she feels like Audra is a threat, or if she just wants to clear the air to protect her family's business interests, she will detonate that secret without a second thought. Audra has been weaving her way into the fabric of GC, playing nice, manipulating the corporate game, and acting like her past as Audra Cortez is totally erased. But the past never stays buried on Y&R. It just doesn't. And I am sitting here practically vibrating with excitement at the thought of Audra's smug face when she realizes Holden told Newman all of her dirty little secrets. I also need to give some major credit to Holden's character development here. When he first showed up, I was kind of on the fence about him. I mean, the whole secret son of Malcolm Winters trope is classic soap, but he felt a bit flat at first. But now, with the Devin and Nate drama, feeling rejected by his own blood, and then finding this incredibly pure connection with Claire, I am completely invested. He needed this New York trip. He needed to get out of Genoa City, away from the judgmental glares of the Winters men, to finally breathe. And seeing him step up, deliver the stem cells, and be there for his family despite how poorly they've treated him. It proves he's a good guy, but a good guy who has done some very bad things in LA. Let's go back to that hotel room for a minute because the atmosphere was just dripping with anticipation, the way they were looking at each other. It wasn't just lust, it was a desperate need for connection. Claire has been so broken by her past, by the trauma of her family, by losing Cole. Holden has been broken by his paternity shock and his LA secrets. They are two damaged people trying to figure out if they can be a safe space for each other. And when Claire said she wants to move forward cautiously, you could see the exact moment Holden realized he can't move forward with her while holding onto a massive lie. He just can't. If he kisses her, if he sleeps with her, and then the Audra secret comes out later, Claire will never forgive him. She will scorch the earth. So he has to do it now. Because if he doesn't, the writers are just dragging this out for no reason. And I will be so mad. We have waited since November. 6 months of hints, of half-truths, of Audra smirking around town thinking she got away with it. The pacing of this show sometimes makes me want to pull my hair out. But when they finally nail a climax, it is absolute perfection. And this feels like a climax. The unexpected turn for May 22nd has to be the confession. It has to be the moment Holden puts everything on the line, risks losing Claire all over again, just to be honest with her. Am I the only one who thinks this is going to be the best episode of the month? I swear, if they interrupt this hotel room scene with a cutaway to Jack and Diane arguing about Potty Williams again, or Nick spiraling over Sienna's drugs, I will throw my remote at the wall. We need a solid 20 minutes of just Holden and Claire, unpacking this LA trauma, crying, screaming. Whatever it takes. I want the flashbacks. I want the full story of what Audra Cortez actually did to that art world figure. I want to know why $100,000 was enough to keep Holden quiet until now. Why and our writers, I am begging you, do not let us down. Give us the drama, give us the truth, and let's watch Audra's world burn.